There's a lot of things that I do only because I'm sure that nobody is watching. Like, a lot of things. By the way, has anybody seen my jelly cat? But who exactly would I be if nobody was watching? I thought it was the perfect time to make this video because literally nobody is watching my videos yet. LOL. But like the irony is striking. I'm making a video about not caring who's watching, yet hoping that people watch it. It's not that I don't want anybody to watch. It's that I no longer want to become someone else because they're watching. We all perform in some aspect of our lives, and I feel it always leads down to one of two paths. We're trying to please others, or we're protecting ourselves. Otherwise, there'd be no reason to perform. We're not talking about living some secret double life here. I found that it's mostly little things that over time make their way into my real life. Like how I used to raise my voice when talking to my family to seem innocent, and then lower it when talking to girls to try and win them over. Soon, I couldn't even speak from my heart, and to be honest, that broke me a bit. Then I started noticing it everywhere. We perform in all kinds of settings, dates, job interviews, even around the people we swear know us best. The clothes we wear can be a performance. It's literally how you present yourself to the world, how you want people to see you. But that doesn't make them fake. It's an expression of yourself. I was so uncomfortable with myself, the new wardrobe didn't help. It felt like Mr. Krabs without his shell. That emo phase was just a phase until I realized it's still a part of me 7 years later. Somewhere in the middle of all that, I started to question myself. At what point does adapting become pretending? Performance isn't evil, right? This is nuanced. Doctors perform, teachers perform, parents perform. Performing only becomes dangerous when you forget where it ends. So, when do you feel most like yourself? From your hobbies and interests to your Instagram bio, there are plenty of ways you might be putting on an act. And it's so easy to confuse what you like with what you are like. It's not that important that I listen to Radiohead, but it's super important how I act when a friend needs me. And there's a reason that we perform. And it's not because we're fake, it's because humans survive through belonging. Approval isn't weakness, it's ancient. Being rejected used to actually matter. You'd get tossed in a volcano if you were an outsider. Just saying that took weight off my shoulders, right? I can be an outsider. I don't have to change to blend. I had to tell myself it's okay to try to fit in, but not at the expense of my true self. Don't let your ego control your perception of your true self either, but that's a convo for a whole different video. And it's also weird because it's like the version of myself might only exist because other people liked it. The feedback I got, it pleased me, and that told my brain to keep doing that action. If you think about your past, you remember that one laugh you caused, the compliment you got, the most sincere feedback you received. Your brain wants more of that. It feeds off of that, and your identity essentially outsources itself. I got so good at reading the room growing up that somewhere along the way, I forgot to read myself. Without realizing, I stopped asking, who am I? And started asking, who do people seem to like me as? All the wrong questions, am I right? At the start of this year, I deleted all of my social media. And I know you hear this all the time. It's some self-improvement BS. But if there's anything I truly mean, It's that this was the best decision I've ever made. Well, besides buying a jelly cat. Come here, Jerry. It feels like this era of the internet is grooming kids to fight for attention by creating an image of their false self online. They're trading their true colors for digital love, and I'm not blaming them. They were pretty much forced down this path. One of the first things I did after silencing the noise was a journal practice where I pictured myself completely isolated on an island in the middle of the ocean. No friends, no family, no phone, no freaky ad mirrors, nobody to impress, nobody to disappoint. What would I actually spend my days doing? At first, the question was terrifying, and if that sounds so, I encourage you to try the exercise as well. What we do when we're alone says far more about us than what we do with people. I'll sit in a circle and count to 538 if I'm with my friends. But alone, actually, I'm just going to leave that alone. There are some things I only do when I'm alone. I record dumb YouTube videos. I run and freak out in my head. Read half of a chapter of a book and fall asleep. These are the real me, the purest version of ourselves. We celebrate our scrambled eggs in the morning or sprint up the stairs because the darkness is about to catch us. What hobbies of yours survive when the applause isn't there? What would you still do if nobody ever found out? Half the time I feel like I'm on the Truman Show. Maybe we're all method actors that forgot the cameras aren't rolling. If nobody was watching, I'd still be talking to myself. Only now I can call it creating content. I'm so paranoid I think my dog is judging me and he eats mulch. I still make jokes in an empty room and it always lands. I finally realized I'd spent a scary amount of time performing for people who weren't even there, stopping myself from doing something because someone might judge me. The answer isn't to stop caring about what people think. That's impossible. But it's to be aware of when you're editing yourself. Which version of yourself feels like it has to work the hardest? Give it a break and nurture the other parts. I promise, you can grow whole. Because being authentic doesn't mean acting the same around everyone. It's making sure that every version of yourself feels like you. I spent this whole video wondering who I'd be if nobody was watching. And I think I finally figured it out. I'd still run. I'd still overthink. I'd still dance when nobody could see me. I'd still talk to myself, and I'd probably still end up making these videos, even if nobody ever clicked on them. Maybe because personality isn't what gets applause. It's what survives after the applause ends. Wait, is this thing on? Can you guys see me?